full spectrum.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 13 of RollPlay for Verona. Special thanks to the Prism Network for updating our names. That's the thing. You make something really cool that takes like many hours to build, and then I kill half of the people you talked about in it. So thank you, Prism Network, for your devotion to keeping things. You know, I'm rethinking whether I should subscribe to your media package or not. Well, welcome back, everybody. Hello. Hi. Folks who are here from Drop Frames will recognize the hardest working man in show business over here, GassyMexican. Max, how are you doing?
I'm good. Adam, how are you? No, I'm good. Like today's, like I said, it's a lot of stuff scheduled. JP asked me if I wanted to do Drop Frames, and I was like, that's gonna be rough, but 5 games on the show, and it was good. It's a good time. There's a lot of games too that I've already played. Like I wanted to talk Spider-Man. I wanted to talk, Black Ops and all that, Blackout and all that. So good time. It's a lot of fun stuff. It's exhausting. I'll be exhausted at the end of the day, but I'll be like, that was a good day. There's a lot of cool stuff in that day, So it's all good. And plus, I get to role play with you guys. So it's shifting gears. You know what I mean? One is talking video games and just being me, and the other is now being Booker. So cool. It keeps it interesting.
It's definitely interesting, the shift. There's a big difference between playing an RPG on stream or running it or being on a talk show, or like it looks from the other side like, oh, you're just talking, you're just hanging out, you're just talking about stuff. But it's it's pretty different. So cool. Yeah. Well, I hope that you will find this energizing, and I'll try not to kill you, but I can't promise the NPCs are going to be nice to you.
Tired of me. There's going to be some people, I'm sure they're going to need here again. And I get that. I get it. It's cool.
That's fair. That's fair. I'd ask you what you've been up to, but I asked you. We talked about it yesterday, so I already know. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Max. I'm glad that you're here. It's good to see you, my friend. Up above Max, it's Anne. Hi, Anne. How are you?
Hello. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. What have you been up to since the last time I saw you?
I have been playing Spider-Man, which I have not finished yet.
Oh, I have to ask you, because I feel like you're the only person who's going to be able to give me an adequate answer. How good, compared to Horizon Zero Dawn, is the camera mode in Spider-Man? How is it?
Okay, so I didn't finish Horizon Zero Dawn, but the camera mode in HCD is superior in some ways.
Okay.
So Spider-Man has like really cool frames that you can add to the shots that are like comic book style and like that kind of thing, and they have some really cool features that way. But Horizon is like you can change the time of day and stuff, right? Like you can change the position of the sun, and you could change a lot more like photo things. So Spider-Man's is fun and I still enjoy it, but I think Horizon had better like actual photo options, which is really cool. The selfie mode is a fun thing that they put in.
The camera in Horizon Zero Dawn, as soon as I opened it, I was like, oh, the person who developed this, like the lead dev in charge of putting this in the game, they're a photographer, because it's like aperture control. And you're like, gamers, your average gamer's not gonna know what that is. So that's pretty cool. Okay, but it's still like there's some fun stuff. I think the thing that I'm excited about is that Spider-Man is a hell of a lot more mobile than anything you can do in Horizon. Like you can jump off stuff, but like Spider-Man's like up on buildings and shit.
Yeah, and you can like pause while you're like on the side of the building or like upside down, and like that kind of thing. So like there's a lot more options for that kind of thing. But Yeah, that's I agree fully that Horizon was like this was made by a photographer.
Yeah. Did you?
And
So have you have you made a public gallery for it, or are you waiting until you get to the end of the game to show off all your photos?
I haven't. I have a ton of photos that I took in Uncharted. Also, what has a very good photo mode, Uncharted
Cool.
4. And I took a bunch of photos of Horizon, and then I had a problem where my PlayStation just stopped working while I was like in the middle of the playthrough, and I got really frustrated trying to fix it, so I just stopped playing the game. So I want to go back and replay it, but I still have all those photos that I took. And I have a bunch now that I've taken in Spider-Man, and I've been working on like a part of my website where I can put photos and stuff from my trips too. So I think I'll just make like also a thing for
your Horizon Zero Dawn photos were really good. I really like the ones that I saw. Did you play Did you play Firewatch?
Yes, I did.
I thought that the photo mode in that was really cool. So in Firewatch, the character got a disposable camera in the game that already had like 2 or 3 frames shot on it, and all you could shoot, you had 10 frames or whatever for the whole rest of the game or something. I think it was like a 24 shot. So you had like 21. And at the end, when you were done, they gave you a link to get them printed and sent to you. And if you did, which I did, you got the 21 photos that you shot and then 3 photos that were already on the camera that you can't see any other way. Yeah.
That's cool.
Which I thought was so cool, right?
I knew they did that. I knew about the 3 photos. That's crazy.
And they send it to you in like a fake photo lab thing, and the date on it is like from the 80s, and it's like, wow, you sure waited a long time to develop these, huh? Like it comes with a little note. It's pretty cute. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was pretty neat. And it was like $8 or something plus shipping. So chat was like, no, you have to. They're like, here, do it. I think that's the first like photo mode like that I saw. Then again, it was kind of skeuomorphic. It was like part of the game. Yeah.
Final Fantasy 15s was like that.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the game, you see the photos you've taken since the beginning.
That's
and it's
right.
like really fucking emotional by like the time you get to the end and the credits are playing and those are photos you took. And it's like, you definitely have a moment where you're like, oh my gosh, this is like, well, I guess it's not photos you took because doesn't the game take photos and you choose them?
Yeah, you're looking at some of Prompto's photos are like, wow, Prompto, you're great at this, and others are like, did you have your head up your ass when you took this picture? Like, this is a picture of the side of a chocobo. This is like a nostril. Like, yeah, not so good. You should be taking more pictures of your hot friends and less pictures of the sky. But yeah.
There were some good ones in there though.
Yeah. For me, the more that a photo mode is like having an actual camera, but then also the power of a god. I want those two things together, and then I'm good. That's my optimal photo mode. But other than the photo shit, and how are you feeling about Spider-Man? Are you enjoying it so far? Do you finish it?
I love it. I have not finished the main story because I have been so preoccupied with doing literally everything else in the game. So I think this might be the first game that I 100% complete.
Ooh, damn, nice.
And because I'm not a completionist person.
No, me neither. No.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about all that stuff. But like, they did a really good job with the side quests where they're actually like, I'm collecting random shit, but those random things that you're collecting actually go into buying abilities and like that kind of stuff in the game. So you feel like there's a reason to do that.
I always thought that was a lot better than the like arbitrary like collect 100 of these things. Why? I don't know. Just because we put them there. Fucking do it.
Yeah.
But giving you abilities for it is pretty good.
Just like there's like 100 flags and you just have to pick them up. That's it.
Yeah.
And then you get an achievement. Congratulations, you did it. So so I really like Spider-Man, and I love just the movement in it is so smooth that I don't even care about fast traveling. Like that thing's 3,000 meters away. Great. I will swing there. So it's super fun.
That's a good sign of an open world game. Like if you get all the way to the end of the game and you're like, I never really needed to fast travel. Like there were some things I wanted to rush to because I wanted to see them, but like for the most part, you just run around. I think that's a really good sign. I used to watch people used to do playthroughs of GTA 4, I want to say, where they just turn off all the HUD and are just like, that's it. I'm just gonna run around like a person. And it's gonna explore the city. My ability to navigate is so poor, though, that's a step too far for me. But it is really cool that you can kind of explore that stuff. That's awesome. Cool. I'm excited. I'm gonna play it. I'm definitely gonna
Yeah.
Mark, are you really, really good at Rainbow Six yet?
No. We've not been playing it. We played a little bit of it since then.
I'm gonna check in. I'm gonna check in every episode. I'm gonna keep asking you. How are you? Are you good?
There's no point. There's no point. We only play really once a week now because I play it with a bunch of other lads from the Yogscast for one of their streams, and then we sometimes play like as just a for fun thing, but that's so rare these days that we're all online in the evening, not working, not doing streams or not editing, that we actually have time to just play for fun. So yeah, we only really get to play once a week. I've been mainly playing Spider-Man as well, just as a bit of a recovery game. Because I was in the hospital last week, so I had the weekend of just sat and on the couch playing Spider-Man.
I saw that. I'm glad that you're doing okay. But listen, Max already has the like getting injured and dying covered for the show. I can't be worried about two of you. All right. So just
mine's not anything serious. Mine was just my own stupidity. So just stupid. Yeah, nonsense.
I mean, but... Max isn't here, but like same deal. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you took some time to recover with Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man's a great game for that. They just like Anne said, like the movement and like the fluidity and just collecting stuff. Like I must have spent like most of, I think Monday evening, I was just kind of zoned out after we did our D&D stream, and I just came back and for like 3 hours just collected backpacks and took pictures of stuff in New York because I was like, I just want to swing around and do this because it's fun. It's just, that's nice. That's got that real, what do they call it? Like that sense of satisfaction just from like watching things get ticked off a list where you're just like, oh yeah, collect that backpack. Oh, that feels good.
Yeah. Well, it's a really good way to extend gameplay too, because you always have these kind of like micro achievements that you can get where you're like, I got the thing. Okay, what's next? Okay, I'll get the thing. And then you get distracted. You're like, I'm gonna go get the other thing. Yeah,
especially because it's like so map based, and you're just like, oh well, the next mission is, there, but on the way I could pick up like 2 backpacks and do this challenge box and do this thing, and that's always fun. So
I feel like this is a thing that every broadcaster who has ever streamed like an open world game, where you say the phrase, all right, I'm gonna go do the main quest now, and somehow 8 hours later you're like, all right, I'm gonna go do the main quest now, and nope. It's like I just collected all kinds of bullshit for 8 hours.
Yeah. That's what I did. Every time I'm playing, I'm like, okay, guys, there's this side quest and like this collectible on the way to the main mission. So I'm gonna do these 2 things, and then we'll get to the main mission. And then on my way there's like over the police blotter. They're just like, there's a hostage situation. I'm like, oh, I have to do that. So I like go and do that, and then I'm like, oh well, I'm right next to this other collectible and this other side mission. And then like an hour later, I'm just like, okay, now it's time for the main mission.
There is something really satisfying about being able to say no to those side things, to be like, there's a terrorist situation. You're like, you deal with it. I'm collecting collectibles. No Spider-Man for you. I have to go over here and pick up a sea shanty again. Yeah. So Spider-Man in recovery. That sounds pretty good. So I'm glad you're doing okay. I'm happy to have you back.
Thanks,
now that I wanted to be nice this time and wait until you were finished your sandwich, Bronze. How was your sandwich?
It was delicious. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
What have you been up to besides eating a sandwich?
I think everybody's just playing Spider-Man right now. I mean, with me, it should have been like anticipated because I'm clearly like a little bit of a comic
you do have that really cool Spider-Man standee behind you. So
I do, yeah. Spider-Man with boobs. It's the ultimate D-cup Spider-Man. It's the best kind of Spider-Man. Yeah.
Listen, Spider-Man is like a Nintendo to your grandma. Every superhero is Spider-Man. Like, are you watching that Spider-Man again, Grandma? Yeah, actually, this is true. Batman. All right, Grandma.
Yeah, 100%. That is true.
I went to Best Buy to buy the Spider-Man PlayStation 4, and I was like, "Hey, so I'm like here to buy this, like pick up this PlayStation 4." And the guy kept calling it an Xbox every time. He was like, "Hey, she's wondering if we have the Spider-Man Xbox," and I was like, "PlayStation." And he's like, "Yeah, the PlayStation." And then he'd call like a new person, and he's just like, "Hey, can you show her where the Xboxes are?" I was like, "PlayStation. It's a PlayStation." Please.
Yeah, that's important, especially when you're talking to somebody who's new and has no idea what you're actually looking to buy.
Yeah. Or people who call every tabletop as D&D. Like every single one.
Don't start him off, Bronze. Don't start him off. He's gonna...
But that's the truth though. Like they're like, oh yeah, like oh you play that D&D. I play D&D with my friends, and I'm like, yeah. They're like, yeah. You know the one that's in Seattle. I'm like Shadowrun. They're like, yeah, and I'm like, that's not D&D. Well, you know, and I'm like, that's Shadowrun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
no,
Shadowrun
me and my friends played D&D together. No, you played Shadowrun together, fam. You don't play D&D together.
Shadowrun is my favorite D&D. I love it. It's great.
We're playing D&D right now.
Here's Adam Coble, your dungeon master. Yeah, dungeon master Adam Coble.
Paging Dungeon Master Adam Coble.
It's been fun, everybody. I'm just gonna light myself on fire. So yeah, that's stuff. Well, you started a new D&D campaign really recently, didn't you? Like yesterday, I think was the first episode of your brand new Dungeons and Dragons campaign with the dungeons and the dragons.
Campaign. Brand new.
That's cool. Which D&D were you playing?
We were playing the edition where you play kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Stranger Things D&D.
Yeah.
God damn it. It's true though. People say that. They're like, "Oh yeah, I saw your D&D show." That happened to me at a Barnes and Noble. Somebody from Barnes and Noble knows me and has watched the show. Yeah. So that was awkward because I was in there to buy sci-fi books, and surprise, surprise, dude who works at Barnes and Noble in the sci-fi section knows who I am by name and face by now because I'm in there so much. And so I'm looking for a very particular Fritz Lieber book, and I'm talking to him, and he's like, "I saw you playing on the front
D&D.
page on the Twitch," and I was like, "Yeah, that was you probably saw me," and he's like, "Yeah, and you had that reference to the Foundation and in your name," and I was like, "I'm gonna watch this," and I have no idea what's going on, and then you died, and that was cool, and I was like, Jesus Christ, Mark. You make me want to kill myself right now.
Put him down, Mark.
Was that really loud? Was that really loud?
Yes, it was so loud.
I don't know how loud do you think crunching plastic is, Mark?
No, it's like the beginning of a movie. We all sat down in the theater and we got the opening fanfare and it got all quiet and tense, and Mark's the guy who's like, "Time to open this bag of chips." Also, I really like the.
I think it would be that loud.
It was so fucking loud.
It was comedic.
We're starting every episode now with a great soundbite of Bronze giving Mark shit. So we'll just add that one to the library.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, finish your story. You and this guy from the Barnes and Nobles, you're getting married now, right? That was how that story was going to end.
No, he's very gay, so that would be very awkward. But yeah, he was just like, yeah, and then you died, and I was like, yeah. That's what happened.
I heard, yeah. And then you, yeah, right. Good. So you watched the one episode where he didn't see your character for very long, I guess. Then,
yeah, well, but he was intrigued.
Shout outs to you, Barnes and Noble guy. See, it's a shame you didn't get married, because then people could refer to your relationship as Bronze and Noble, and it would be adorable. But well, you both had to go and gate up, so too bad. That's why nobody likes us, Bronze.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Yep. Well, cool. Welcome to Verona, everybody. This one goes out to that poor guy who didn't get to marry Bronze. But kudos for mechanizing stuff from the show. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. We can hang out. All right, let's do goals, because last time there was hella gunfire and you achieved some accomplishments.
Okay, hella.
Now I want to give you a chance.
I leveled up.
A chance to get some more XP. Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations. What did you already do your level up homework, or do you want to do that now?
We can do it now. I wasn't sure because I have to re-roll dice, right? I was like, if I do this off stream, would that be shady?
I mean, it would show up in the chat log, but yeah, let's do that.
That's true. Fair enough.
People who don't do their homework, am I right, Adam, on their characters?
I know, seriously. Having players where you're like, I need you to do like 2 things, and they show up and their gnome druid doesn't have
You're just jealous
to see their pants
that you didn't level up, Booker. You're just jealous.
And they don't know how many.
Wasn't it like the very first episode of Verona, and Max is like, "Oh, I have money I have to spend."
You are describing every time I have ever role-played with Max ever.
That's why I'm saying it. I'm very much self-aware of that.
Yeah.
I was saying that because literally yesterday, I made an entire new character, everything about him, all his spell slots and everything while we're doing the show in the background. It worked out.
You can tell during the pre-show when somebody is still doing their homework, and I'm the worst for this. I'm like making notes and getting ready for the episode when we'll be doing the show, and someone will be like, "So Adam, what have you been up to?" And I'm like, Sorry, what?
I know.
Yes, video games, cool.
Mine is
thanks.
good.
Talk to Dan.
When someone says like, oh, how you've been playing Spider-Man, right? What are your thoughts on it? And I'm like, oh, good.
Spider-Man, good. Video game, fun for stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
I hear you. Good. Yeah. I say cool as a response to everything, and people who watched Mirror Shades will remember a scene with DJ Wheat and I where Marcus described his character like feeling really bad and like something really bad had just happened, and she's like, I have tears in my eyes, and I look up at this NPC and I'm like, I don't know if I could do this anymore, and I'm like, cool. And then I was like, no, I mean, it's not cool that happened. And that, I mean, I don't mean to ruin your moment, but like, I understand what you're saying and I hear you. I don't mean that's cool. Oh God, never mind. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Listen, I felt very bad about it. I'm sorry. All right, let's see what you need to do to level up. So you do need to reroll your hit points. Here we go. Character advancement. All right, so you roll a number of 6-sided dice equal to your new level, adding your Constitution modifier to each one. A negative modifier cannot lower a die's result below 1. Do you have a Constitution modifier?
It's 0. Yeah, I don't.
Okay, all right, so you're gonna roll 2d6. What's your current hit points?
6.
Okay, all right. So there's like a pretty good chance you'll get 1 hit point here. So roll 2d6, and that's your new hit points, unless it's lower than 6. There you go. It stays at 6.
Okay.
That's right. All that tension, and then you roll a 4. It's fine. All right. Yeah. So you keep the same hit points. Your base attack bonus stays the same. You're not a warrior. Your saving throws will change as appropriate if you change your character sheet.
Mm-hmm.
And at the level you're going to gain, you're a full expert, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it'll be skill points is the main jam. So an expert, you get
skill.
You get 4 points to spend on skills. The table is on 57 of what your skill costs are, or you can boost your attributes with those skill points. So the first time you improve an attribute, it costs 1 skill point and adds +1. But the second improvement to an attribute costs 2. So you got to keep track of them like as you. I was
gonna say, so that means you gotta. Okay.
Yeah. So right now you could do at level 2 you can do your first and second attribute boosts if you're interested. That would cost 3 of your 4 skill points, but then you also have skill points to spend. And then at level 2, this is the good one. You get a foci, so you get another like superpower basically.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Or you can level up another one. So if you want your hench commander thing to be even better, you could bump it up again. I think there may be a level bar on those.
Yeah.
So for the spending stuff, unless you know right now exactly what you want to spend it on, you can just throw it in the
I threw it in
points.
unspent. Yeah.
Yeah, just chuck it in unspent, and then you can spend it whenever you want, even like right before a roll. If you're like, you know what, I'm gonna increase my skill on this one.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, do you know what focus you want?
I'm actually between. Let's see here.
Because it's the same thing. You don't have to pick right now. You can always
I might hold off and think about it because I might level up Starfarer to level 2.
Okay. All right.
That way I can double my pilot skill for all spike drill related skill checks.
Yeah.
But
well,
I also don't
think
know
about it,
how much navigating I'm going to be doing for the crew. But
Yeah, right. So yeah, I would say just think about it. Think of some options. If you feel like it, let the Far Verona Discord decide. Go tell House Vela you can't decide, and let them argue about it for the next 4 hours. And you just let me know when you've decided. That's fine. The hit points was the main thing.
All right.
Cool. So as a result of your tactical skirmishing, you've gained a level. Booker, do you know what you want your goal to be for today?
No. I also realized that I did level up as well, which is not what you want to hear. Probably.
No, that's fine. It's cool.
Well, I'm fine to do it quick and dirty. All right.
Are you level 3 now?
3. Yep.
Okay, level 3 is actually faster than level 2. So cool. Roll. Do you have a Constitution bonus?
No.
Okay, roll 3d6.
Okay. Nice and easy.
Let me get back to the thing. And what's your current HP?
Just 12 max.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
You're half warrior as well, right?
Yeah, so you're a warrior too,
expert,
so you've got some adjustment there. Okay, so you rolled 12.
Yep.
And you get an extra 2. And sorry, what was your hit points? Right? What was your hit points again?
Right now it's 12. So I get an extra 12, you said, and then another 2 on top of that because of Die Hard, correct? Because you get an extra 2 maximum hit points per level.
Not an extra 12. It would reset. Like if you have 12 now and you rolled 12, then 12 becomes the base, but you get 2 for your level and 2 from Die Hard. So you go
Do you
up
get
to
2 per dice, Adam, or is it just 2 overall?
No, 2 maximum hit points. That's how the warrior one works. Die Hard might be different.
And I remember you talking about this before and being like, "Whoa, what? I rolled 3 1s there."
No, your hit points don't go down.
Okay,
they just don't.
I was like, that doesn't make sense. Level up. Haha, you're weaker.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
So you get so you rolled the same. So your base is 12. And then you get 2 extra maximum hit points at each level. So that was from warrior. So you go up to 14. And then let me look at Die Hard here.
Die Hard says you gain an extra 2 maximum hit points per level. This bonus.
Yeah, so then you get another 2. Yeah.
16.
Yes. And then I think I got to check on the roll because you might get a bonus.
Yeah, wouldn't it be 6, Adam? 2 for 1, 4 for 2, and then
the wording is ambiguous, right? Like it's
yeah, I don't know how to interpret that.
You get 2 per level, right? But is that 2 every time you level up? Because otherwise, like you get that first level one over and over and over.
I'm gonna be fucking swimming in HP.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
You gain an extra. It says you gain an extra 2 maximum hit points per level. It applies retroactively if you take it after first level. I don't think that it goes. I don't think that it goes up. Like that seems crazy.
It seems like a lot of HP. I mean, it's up to you to make the final call.
Well, so we essentially
leveled in HP wise, especially what we're
we're recalculating your XP. So let me look. You get 1d6 plus 2. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. So it's 5. It's 5 plus 4, and then 1 plus 4, and then 6 plus 4. So you do have more hit points. So you've got 9.
I mean, I'm not gonna say no to more hit points.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah. This is what I meant. It's not that it doesn't add on top of it. It just makes your con modifier much bigger. So
gotcha.
So each of your dice is a d6 plus 4. So you get 9, 10, 14, 24 hit points.
Yeah. Shit. All
there you go.
That's crazy.
Die Hard is so good.
Die Hard is quite good. Yeah, that makes much more sense. Yeah. Okay. So we'll just keep in mind, make a note for the next time you level that you re-roll your just a d6 plus 4 every time you roll because of the focus. And then I want to double check really quickly because I think bronze might get 1 hit point. let me check. In which case you'd go up to 25
plus 4 every time I level for HP.
Yep. Psionics. Where's advancement? Here we go.
Tag it in red text too, so I pay attention to.
Negative modifier can't lower it. If the total is greater, you take the new total. Otherwise, your maximum hit points increase by 1. Yes. So bronze, your hit points go up by 1. And Max, you rolled the same number you had before, right?
For my base? Yeah, I rolled 12, right?
Right, but for you with all your modifiers, yeah, you don't have to do. Okay, so you're at 24, bronze is at 25. We got it. Math is done. Okay, and then you're gonna get skill points. You'll get 4 because you're a partial expert, right?
Yes.
So you get 4 skill points. You can spend them according to page 57 on attributes and skills. You let me know as you go. Yeah, sorry, bronze, you're not 25. You're 13.
57. You
or
said?
7. It's what you got 1. Yes. I'm doing 2 separate sets of math at the same time in my head.
I know. I was gonna say. I had a quick question before.
Bronze gets 1 hit. Bronze gets 1 hit point. Max has 24, and then the book is closed. We're done. Okay. So yes, you had a question.
So, when my hit points go up, since I was at like 1 hit point, does it go up to 2? Do I magically regenerate like it's WoW and I ding, or am I still at 1?
You were still.
Because I was at like 1 of 6. Okay, so now I'm just at 1
It only increases your maximum hit points. Yeah.
Okay, I figured, but I just wanted to ask.
You'll have a chance to rest soon, unless something horrible happens. And then Max, you don't get a new focus this level, so all you have to worry about is spending your skill points.
Those skill points into like shoot and all that shit, right? Whatever I want. Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Skill points is my AC stay the same.
Cool. Yes. Yeah, because your armor class only changes if your dexterity or your focus changes it.
Sick, dude.
Other than armor. Cool. All right. Cool. So let's talk about goals then. Chaplain Valencio.
Can you swing back round to me? Because I really don't know. Like, I've got like 1 XP, and I really feel like I need to complete some goals. And I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about goals in general. Nomi, do you know what your goal is going to be?
Can you remind me of what exactly we were doing right now?
Yeah, of course.
We just had that big fight.
Yeah. So you blitzed the ballroom and you defeated the stowaway terrorists that are there, and captured what's her name? Alexander Karsten and a bunch of other people. Right now, it sounds like the sabotage was orchestrated by Karsten and attempted to use a synth to achieve it, but it went wrong and it happened too early while they were still in orbit around Hyra. But the details of that can be gleaned from some aggressive interrogation. Cool. You have them all in your hands.
I want my goal to be to locate and interrogate Officer Marlowe, who was the accomplice.
Yeah, Shyam Marlowe. Yeah, because who is that guy? Okay. Cool. So you're gonna leave necessarily like the big boss terrorist for a second, but there's still a loose thread there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Because we have her, but we don't know where that dude is. So.
Yes. So yeah, the three named like bad guys right now that you know of are Shyam Marlowe, Alexander Karsten, and then the guy you already had on board, the one that Booker was about to arrest, the Valen. I can't remember his name, but yeah, that guy. Okay, cool. Sounds good. All right. Anybody else ready with goals? I want to talk about them. Mark, do you want to talk about yours? You want to like work out?
Well, I'm thinking now, just based on what we said, and I'm trying to think about what Valencia would care about. And I think the fact that this Karsten somehow knew this synth was aboard is something. Mm-hmm. But then also, if I'd like, that could also be something that Booker might want to do, and I don't want to step on Booker's toes either.
Say that again?
I mean, you can have the same goal. You can work together towards accomplishing them.
So, because Karsten, we found out that this Alexander Karsten somehow knew that there was going to be a synth aboard this ship. So I want to find out how she knew that, because obviously that means if she can know where a synth was, then we can potentially use that to track down more as well. So I'm going to make mine find out how Karsten. Yeah. Because I think that's something that could help Booker as well, like almost kind of like be something to like earn some respect back from the Richter,
I mean, because that's what originally Booker was tasked with, anyways, to figure out, there's a deeper connection to the synth threat and where that thread weaves, where that goes.
Yeah, and I want to put these synths down. So,
okay, yeah, I dig it. Okay, so how do you want to phrase that? Like, learn how Karsten. Do you want to know how she knew about the synth? How she tried to control him?
Yeah. So the one I wrote down was just find out how Karsten knew there was a synth aboard. But that's right. That's a good point, because they had like a way of reprogramming them as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
So
I mean, you could find out the intel leak first.
And then figure out the how.
Yeah. So in Booker, like if you want to write an adjacent goal that's like find out how they controlled the synth, or like something that you can both resolve together, that works. But how do you want to phrase that? What do you want to say about your goal?
Find out how they manipulated the synth.
Okay. Yeah, and
I think we knew something about Triangulum guy.
Yeah. So these goals, they're not like wishes in D&D, right? Like I'm not going to be like, you didn't do exactly the thing that you said. like Nomi, if it turns out that Marlowe is dead, you can still paper trail him to get the goal resolved, right? So if it was like, he's dead.
I would assume that like finding information about him in general is
like these goals are meant to be interpreted at the end of the session to kind of like review what happened and went on. So that's cool. Okay, so Booker wants to find out how they manipulated the synth, because that's dangerous information. Okay. And then Kieran, do you know what you want yours to be? Because last time yours was like do something awesome on the mission, right? Like show that I'm of use to these goons, and you definitely did. You took the tactical leadership there, and
I think
you were doing good. So
on this one, I want to further look into how this person that was compromised, that kind of was like help them get on board, like how he got in contact with them, so we can start to dismantle like that network.
Which guys? Sunil?
Yes.
Sunil is the other guy. He's the dude on the Prudence right now, who's not technically under arrest, but you got to know he's sweating right now.
Yeah. Because
so how do you want to phrase that?
Board, right?
He definitely is like he's the only one around here that is a noble, right? Like Karsten is a pleb, and you haven't checked on Marlowe, but yeah, this guy definitely is like a member of House Vela. So
I want to interrogate Sunil and delve, or I guess like figure out the nature of his relationship with these terrorists. Like, was he under duress? Or was he a willing participant? Like, how did he come to be involved?
I'll put in.
Help them get on board.
Learn Sunil Hummel's connection to the terrorists.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. That's cool. And I mean, it's good that you're the one doing that, because if you're going to have to race Booker for it, or another member of House Crux, because if the Crux get a hold of him, he may say things that House Vela doesn't want him to say. So if you can beat them to him and try to feel out what his deal is, then you can that'll definitely be advantageous for you and your family. Cool. Okay. Good. All right. Everybody has goals. So I think we fade back in, unless anybody has. Is there anybody that has stuff they want to do on the sad song, or can we fade in on the like returning the prisoners back to the Prudence?
how badly injured was I? Because I know in the last kind of assault thing, I don't know if that translates to hit points or if I'm just like unconscious or.
What's your total? What's your total hit points?
I'm currently at 5. My max is 7, but yeah, I was injured. We didn't have like a specific, like you said, we'd work.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it because the like
I was just
keep the hit points. Keep the hit points you currently have, but yeah, you were a casualty of the last fight, but it just meant that you had to fall back or risk your life. So
cool. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah. Anybody else have stuff? Tran, Booker, Nomi, anything on the ship that you want to do?
Check on.
Yeah, dude.
Again, chat was saying this, but I'm double checking it myself for the Ironhide foci. What?
Yep.
Foci. Okay. Doesn't actually take me to 17. I'm reading the text, and it only says at level 1 you have an innate armor class of 15 plus half your character level rounded up. I don't see anything in the text that says
I think
continues to go, or does it?
I think it's true all the time. I think it just means that no matter what, your armor class is 15.
On it, so
yeah, so your AC, if you're level 3, your AC goes up by 1.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because that could be interpreted different. I don't know.
Yeah, they don't stack. They don't stack with armor, but dexterity and shield. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. The way I read it is that when you buy it, it gives you an innate armor class of 15 plus half your level. Because otherwise, if it was a static thing, it would just say your AC is 16.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Right. The fact that it implies math. So.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Okay. So so why don't we start with the scene of the group of you returning to the Prudence on the shuttle that Arnahan and her company brought over. The inside of the shuttle is a bit cramped, given that it's not meant for this many people. You have a bunch of prisoners. I think probably like 1, maybe 2. Like by the time you get home, 2 of the terrorists won't have made it. I think you definitely took a loss. So there is there's a body on board with you. And the group of you are returning. Some in restraints, others looking either that sort of post battle fatigue, or in Arnahan's case, just grinning ear to ear, like we did it. We caught the bad guys, and a very special, famous bad guy as well.
Yeah, Booker's just eyeing. What the hell's her name again? I can't remember. I keep wanting to say Arnahan. Karstens, that's what it is. Booker's just keeping eyes on Karstens.
Yeah. So Arnahan is the soldier, and then Karsten. So let's take a look at, because we haven't seen her in person. So Alexandra Karsten is a woman of I mean, you haven't heard her speak, so you can't place her space accent. But she has a weathered look to her. You can see that her face belies an age older than her vigor would indicate. She has gray hair at her temples. Her hair is dark and was probably at one point pulled back into a neat bun, but she's been in a firefight and then probably a little roughed up. So there's probably dried blood on her face from her nose and strands of dark hair hanging in her face. She has ice blue eyes and kind of a Roman look. She has kind of an aquiline nose, and she doesn't have any scars on her face, but she carries herself with a sort of world weary readiness, though that's been recently punched out of her to a degree. She doesn't make eye contact with anybody on the shuttle. So if you look at her, she's just kind of 1,000-yard staring. She doesn't look like she's shaken. And in fact, none of the people that you've captured, at least the conscious ones, none of them are trying to bargain or really even saying much. They seem to have a pretty solid discipline after their capture, though we'll see how long that lasts. She's wearing military fatigues, just dark. They wouldn't be camouflage because these are not planetary troop outfits. But yeah, military fatigues. She probably has a jacket with epaulettes that's torn, the sleeve is torn on it, and no other markings indicating who she is. This is sort of the first time Nomi and Kiran, as they bring the prisoners back to the shuttle, this is the first time you get a real good look at them. And among the faces, you recognize Nomi. You recognize one of them. He is of Asian descent. He looks a little squirrely. Everybody else seems calm. This guy's got a bit of a tick. He's got a twitch in his eye, and yeah, you recognize at least the face from the image that you saw of Marlowe. This is Shion. This is Shion Marlowe. He does not. If you're staring at him or anything, he doesn't notice. He's just kind of like trying to keep it together.
Okay, so he is like in handcuffs or whatever. He's not like
they're all essentially chained together. They're manacled, and then there's like a length of like fiber cable keeping them together, and they're being loaded onto the ship.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything to him right now, but I recognize that it's him. Yeah.
Okay. So Arnahan brings up the rear of this sort of colonnade that loads everybody onto the shuttle, and she salutes Nomi. She salutes you first, and then turns to Kiran and salutes you as well. And she says, "Excellent work, ladies. Thank you for all your help."
I look at Kiran. And I kind of like hold my hand out to her and I say, yes, all of your congratulations can go to the Amira. Her work was very instrumental in helping us with this success.
She quirks an eyebrow and she says, you've got hidden talents, Amira. Maybe combat diplomacy's in your future. Those are good orders.
Well, if I may say so myself, I had excellent people working under me. You performed admirably today.
She gives you a look, and I would love to see how you interpret it. Let's have you make a mental effect save.
Oh God.
All right. So
no.
She gives you a look that in no uncertain terms, when you say I had good people working under me, the look she fires at you is, I'd like to work under you again. But she doesn't say anything. She just like wiggles an eyebrow slightly. I will leave it up to you whether you are flustered by or upset or insulted or miss it completely. It's up to you. But you have some reaction to it. You can't like hide. So what do you do when she does that?
I'm gonna. Well, the Amira is gonna kind of cough uncomfortably and be like, "So Nomi, doesn't that gentleman over there look a bit familiar?"
Nomi misses that exchange entirely. And I turn back to Arnahan and I say, yes, you may tell the Prudence that we have found our missing tech officer. And I look like directly at him.
Yeah. Okay. So this is kind of as they're getting loaded onto the shuttle. So I think Kiran, Arnahan says to you, right, well, technically our pilot, and she looks back as there are two Crux officers like bringing a body bag on board. So if you wouldn't mind, she looks at the cockpit.
Of course. And I'm gonna get up and take control of the situation.
Okay. All right. So you head into the cockpit. Booker and the chaplain, you return as well. How injured are you, Chaplain Valencio? Is this like are you limping? Is Booker like helping you? I want to let you sort of set the scene of your return.
Did the chaplain take much damage?
The chaplain was he was a casualty in one of the
he went down with me, right? Okay.
Leapt from
Booker
did a
if
John Woo.
letting me. Booker's like right there with him, like if he needs some help like walking, if he's kind of limping.
I don't think I'd necessarily I think the chaplain would
help? Kick out your legs.
Politely decline the help. Probably be like holding aside, but is politely like, no, I'm fine. And he's not one to be carried around if he can walk.
Okay, well,
but yeah,
he
would politely decline.
as much as you're accepting. It's more Booker, just kind of like, when two two men skilled in the way of war. When two men go into an Booker. This is what you hear, Booker. He's just like, aren't you full of surprises there, Chaplain? Well done. Took a little bit of a beating there, eh?
Yes, a little bit, Officer Graves. Thank you for the offer, but I'm fine, I assure you. It has been a while since I've done any real combat, so perhaps I was just a little rusty, perhaps. And then groaning and probably clutching at ribs and
sit down hard
in
on
the arm or something. Yeah.
So you sit down, and one of the soldiers is like, "Oh, let me help you, Father," and he helps you like get strapped in for the journey.
Oh, I'm fine, my son, but I do hand him the shotgun back and say, like, if you wouldn't mind, please return this to your stores. I should not need it anymore.
He gives it a look like this should be a Renaissance painting, right? Like there's a moment in his head where suddenly like you're emerging from the clouds and handing him this shotgun, and he's like reaching up to take it. This guy will never part with this shotgun ever again. This is a holy shotgun.
On the main stand, up on the mantle with lighting on it.
Yeah, this is the enunciation of the 10 gauge. So he takes it, and he looks at you and looks at the shotgun like you've just given him a gift, and he returns to his seat.
Shrug into my harness and
okay, cool. All right. So Nomi, do you ride back in the cockpit with Kieran and radio ahead?
Sure.
Or do you want to? Yeah. I was gonna say, you want to wait until you have these guys in custody. Okay, all right. So you head into the cockpit as the shuttle lifts off from the derelict Valen cruiser and begins heading back towards the great purple arc in the sky that is the jurisprudence. So as you're on your way over, you can go ahead and open a channel to the Prudence, to their comms deck. Do you want a direct line to the Richter, or are you just like sending in a general report?
Yeah, I think I would tell him directly, especially because we're coming back with prisoners and like a high value prisoner.
Okay. Now, the last time you talked to him, he did suggest that you go through Yancey, chain of command and all. But I just want to give you the opportunity to ignore that if you like.
Oh, but the Richter was the one who suggested that I go through Yancey, right?
Yeah, he was like, you know what, I understand you're excited, but you can talk to Ibanez about this. He'll take care of you. It's his job.
Okay. Then yeah, Nomi would call Yancey.
Okay. All right. So Kieran, you can hear this conversation because it's just over the internal comm deck of the shuttle. Okay. Nomi,
what's Yancey's like title now? Is it just still Officer Ibanez?
Officer is technically, I mean, his title is Sir, but yeah, Officer Ibanez is technically still valid.
Okay.
I don't think I ever landed on. I think he's a lieutenant. I think that's where we were at because we had a sergeant before, and he was not that, and he got bumped up quite high. So I think lieutenant fits if you want to use a English normal. If you want to use an in-game like Germanic, he's a Kriegsherr.
Where?
Okay. Does he outranks me now?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know.
Yes.
Yeah,
he does. Yes. And for folks who are interested as to why you only got promoted to squad leader and he got the double promotion, nepotism is the answer to that. He's a crux and you're not.
Yeah.
Mommy and daddy have that big money. So
he's such a bitch. I hate him so much.
He's gonna take credit for all of this. The motherfucker, I hate him so much.
We should kill him.
He's the reason everything fell apart. Okay. Sorry.
Doing my job.
Only reason. Looking at
So so the call connects and you hear the Kriegsherr on the other side, and he says, "Cirrus, tell me you've got good news."
I have excellent news, Lieutenant Ibanez. We are returning with multiple prisoners, including several who were involved in the plot, and also the widely known terrorist, Alexandra Karsten.
there is a long pause, like long enough you wonder if the call has disconnected.
Okay.
Do you say anything, or do you just wait to see if it actually has?
I just wait.
Okay. So there's a long pause, long enough that like Kieran, you maybe look at Naomi, and like there's a moment there, and then you hear
I'm probably like looking at the lights, making sure that there's still a connection.
Right, yeah, the comms line is clear. Yep, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you hear the Kriegsherr say, my goodness. Well done, Cirrus. What a spot of luck for us,
Yes, I never expected that when we were returning to the sad songs. Thankfully, with the excellent work of the Amira and also Arnahan, we were able to apprehend her alive.
Fantastic. Well done. Any casualties?
Yes, unfortunately, the crew lost, how many was it? Like 2 people?
Yeah.
3 people?
Yeah, there were injuries, but there was only one confirmed, like one KIA.
Oh, okay. So I say, yes, we had a number of injuries, but nothing too bad. Unfortunately, we did lose one member of our squad.
Well, I'm sure that dying in the line of fire, capturing Alexandra Carson, that'll be a hell of a funeral. Good work. There's likely a medal in it for you.
Thank you, sir.
You'll be taking them to the brig then?
Yes. Yes, sir.
I'll meet you there.
Excellent. Will that be all?
Okay. He says, oh yes, Cirrus, that will be all.
Cool. I wait for him to disconnect the thing before I do.
Okay. Yeah. So he disconnects, but we stay with him. So we cut to Yancey's office, and he's at his desk, and he's got you can tell at a glance looking at his office that he is emulating the Richter, right? But he can't help himself but make it a little bit fancier. So he doesn't have the kind of Spartan minimalism that the Richter is capable of. So it's a little fancier. There's like a picture of his mom and dad like on the thing. And he disconnects, and we see him, and he grins, and then he opens. He hits a button on his desk, and the comm officer comes on, and she says, "Kriegsherr," and he says, "Open me a line to Hyra," and then we cut back to you in the cockpit.
Okay. I mean, I hang up the thing, and then I just I don't think I have anything else to do except for wait for us to get back to the ship. So,
okay, sure, yeah. So it's about an hour, I think we said before. Is the ride? Anybody have a interstitial conversation, or do we just cut to being there?
No, Booker doesn't. He's just paying very close attention to the Carsons.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Carsons? What is that again? Like a chain or something. Sorry, random. Not important. Let's keep going.
That's definitely what she's named after. Yeah. Tune in next week for the terrible villain 7-Eleven. So you arrive back at the Prudence in its shuttle bay, and you I think Booker, you're the first one that notices this. As you fly in, there is a civilian shuttle in the bay. It is it's like just a run of the mill, like a planet to station or planet to moon like shuttle, and it's still hot. Like the exhaust ports on the side are still venting steam. It looks like it just arrived. There's a deck crew that's attaching like a refueling line to it, and you notice that out the viewport as you come in and land.
Booker kind of takes a look and raises an eyebrow, like.
Yeah.
Doesn't say anything.
Okay. All right. So you land. Everybody starts to disembark, and Arnahan to you, Nomi, says there's going to be crew to help take these lot to the brig. If you don't mind, I'd like to see to my men and like you look over and there's like an injured guy like waiting to go to medical.
I nod at her and I say, "As you wish, Anahen. Good work today."
She salutes and she says, "For House and Empire," and she grins. And then the group of them leave to go to the med bay. And as of course you're met by security personnel who take the silent terrorists wherever you want them to go. And I assume, is everybody going to go to the brig, or do we split up here?
I'm going to meet
think
against
unless
there.
dismissed.
So
Unless dismissed, Booker's going to stay with the unit and make sure that Carson's gets to the brig properly.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't want to leave that in the hands of just like, no-name security people there, even though they're probably capable, knowing that, what Carson's has done. He wants to make sure that she is in prison, and he confirms it himself.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she's a bad deal.
And he also
okay.
just
Bad
detective's
deal.
habit, like he wants to know as much as he can about her. So he's studying like her mannerisms, way she walks, if her eyes are flicking around to different places, all of that.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna see if the chaplain will accompany me, just in case things get hairy, and go look into the whereabouts of Sunil. I don't think he'll try anything, but if he does, I know the chaplain can handle himself. So I'll probably ask him along if he'd be so willing.
The chaplain is moderately injured, but yeah, absolutely. Like, I just bow and say, "Of course, Emira. I am here to help the nobility. If that is what you require, of course."
I forgot you were injured. You're probably like bleeding, and I'm like,
it's merely a few bruised ribs, Emira. I'm sure. Nothing serious.
Are you
but I will
sure?
keep the laser pistol. Yes, of course. I doubt that much harm will come within the ship on the ship. And after I've assisted you, I may head back to my quarters briefly.
Well, you also have a way with words. Maybe your presence will prove useful.
I can only hope.
Okay. Well, let's start there then. So the two of you are gonna go to see Vela Hummel Sunil.
Sorry, all the Monty Python references in chat. I can't stop laughing now.
Yeah.
It's just a flashback.
Fine.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's cool.
Just like,
it happens in every D&D game. It's innate.
There's something about that scene that always gets me though. It's just like,
we had some holy hand grenade in Court of Swords yesterday, so it's fine.
Nice. Okay. That makes me feel less.
So the two of you are going to go straight to that guy's cabin?
Yes.
I will follow the Emira where she goes.
Okay. All right. So we cut to the hallway outside of his cabin, and this is where he is staying. What are you gonna do?
Okay. I'm gonna knock.
Okay.
Yeah. Ring the bell.
There's no answer.
Yes.
Well,
perhaps we should ask one of the Crux officers to locate him aboard the ship.
yes, that would be most wise. And I'm gonna go ahead and I guess I'll like using my comms get in contact with Nomi and ask her if she can like give us the resources to. So I'll just establish like a comm link with Nomi and be like, Cirrus, if you had a moment, I wanted to get your assistance in locating someone on board the ship.
How can I assist?
I need to know the location of Sunil Hummel. We're at his quarters, and he doesn't appear to be answering the door.
Is there a reason that you need to locate this person?
Yes. I don't know if you recall, but it was one of the names that the terrorists on board the ship gave us. It's probably not wise to allow him to wander about the ship unsupervised.
That does sound very unfortunate. So I ask again, how can I help you?
I was hoping you could use some of your Crux resources, given that you're the squad leader, to maybe see if they could locate him or perhaps unlock his apartment for us.
I'll see what I can do. I don't know who I can like contact about that or like
internal security can do all that stuff for you.
Okay, cool. So I don't know. Can I like stay on the call with the Amira and just like
yes, yeah, and just click them in,
kind of?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's the future. They have all kinds of conferencing technology. Yeah, it's all kinds of exciting. But weirdly, in the future, you still like max out at 30 FPS and your rate dips. It's a whole thing. 1,000 years, and we still don't have anything better. Okay, so yeah, there's a click as you Kieran, you get connected, and there's a voice on the other side. A man says, "Internal security. How can I help you, Cirrus?"
I'm speaking with the Amira on my squad. She is looking for. Could you repeat his name for me?
Sunil Hummel.
We have reason to believe that he is engaged in a terrorist plot and that we are investigating, but we are unable to locate him.
We do have him on the watch list, Cirrus. Officer Greaves was asking about him earlier. Looks like he's in his quarters.
I'll nod to the Amira.
At his quarters currently.
I'll motion to the door and say, ask them to open it, Amira, and then I'll pull my pistol out and just take a position by the door.
Mm-hmm. Officer, is there any way you could unlock his quarters remotely?
Absolutely, Amira. Would you like me to?
Please do so. Thank you. And I'm gonna just like put the phone away because I feel like shit's about to get real.
I'll move Amira to the side as well, so she's not in front of the door, like just gentle kind of.
You both hear a slight beep and a click because he presses a button. There's a beep on his end, and then the click is the door opening, and then it goes from like locked to unlocked. And yeah, you just have to press the button to open it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say thank you and terminate the call, and then just like make eye contact with the chaplain and like motion for him to push the button.
So I'll hit the button, but then immediately kind of come in, gun raised, just like ready to react.
Yeah, you don't have a chance. You don't have a chance to go in. You hit the button. The door slides out of the way, and two things happen. You smell. You smell like burning. You smell like there's a burnt smell in the air, and there's like a wet thump as a body tumbles out. It was leaning on the door, tumbles out onto your feet, and splashes blood on your boots.
I'll scan the room because I'm obviously still looking for a threat if a body's gone down. I'm not even bothered by the body. Like, it might be a bit unsettling for the Amira that the body I kind of regard it like debris, just shove it away, and I'm checking the room already.
Okay, yeah. You look into the room. There is a laser pistol lying on the floor. Kind of near the body was sitting down, so it's lying near the like its knees. The rest of the room seems like normal, aside from the blood. And Kieran, you look at the body when it falls in, and yeah, you see the face of Sunil Hummel. He's missing most of the back of his head, and there's like a little like laser hole size like pinprick, kind of like I have my glasses on, but like in between his eye and the bridge of his nose.
Okay. I'm gonna raise a hand up real quick to the chaplain once he's cleared the room and be like, you may want to be a bit careful there, chaplain. I believe we have a murder scene to preserve. We'll want to maintain the integrity of the scene and perhaps get Officer Greaves here to give it a look over.
Yes, Amira, I agree that I will, of course, be careful. And I'll just kind of glance back and be like, it is not my first time at such a scene. But then in a hushed tone, I'll just kind of really try and quietly whisper to the Amira, like, do not forget that we are aboard a Crux ship. Only Crux would have had access to this room. Whoever entered here was either known to Sunil, or perhaps was working on this crew already. I just wish to give a quick glance at the rest of the ship, at the rest of the room. See if there is anything that we should be aware of.
You're absolutely correct. We don't even know how long the body has been here. It's not unfathomable to think that it could have been someone on the crew.
Considering that this person was alive when you spoke to him last, and I imagine, looking at the body, Adam, can I tell like roughly how long it's been dead? Like, is there a way that I can know that? Like, check the temperature or something like that?
I mean, you can make like do you have heal trained?
I don't have it in trained, no.
Okay, no, not at a glance then, because that'd be like the forensic.
That's
that'd be
like
the
a
forensic
thing.
science like skill. Yeah.
I look over a mirror. I don't suppose that you can determine how long he has been dead for.
I don't think I would have skill.
Do you have any ranks in heal? In that case, I'll turn my attention to the room then. Well, okay, so here's the thing. Yeah, no, I'll check I want to check the room then, like look around the room, trying to be as cautious as I can not to touch anything.
Okay.
Right. Because the gun is on the bed, right?
No, the gun is,
let
me draw it on my cool forensic map.
It's like those Ace Attorney games.
That's right. Gun. There it is.
Yeah. So like clattered to the floor, like he shot himself.
It was sitting. Yeah, it was sitting like I guess he's kind of like. Well, he shot himself. Well, so that's the exit wound.
Okay, so that's the exit wound.
The little hole would be. Yeah, he shot himself in the face.
But he was pressed up against the door. You said, right?
Yeah.
Yes, his body was leaned against the door, and when the door slid out of the way, he fell into the hallway backwards.
Right. It's an odd place. Why kneel in front of the door? Yeah. I don't know.
Also,
there's something really sus about this.
Who shoots themselves like this? People shoot themselves like this, not like this. I mean, you could, but it's just weird.
And it's also, how did anybody get in and out of the building without disturbing the body?
I really like that you're criticizing the way he committed suicide. Like,
look, this is CSI shit, Adam.
Like that.
Come on. I understand.
Who does this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like if I tell you to grab your ear, are you going to grab it like this? Or are you going to grab it like this?
Depends on which ear and what hand. I'm going to do that now.
I've got a nose itch.
Yeah. yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, so you want to step over the body and have a look around,
and just be cautious of not touching anything.
All right, and Kieran, are you going to help?
Yeah, I'm actually going to start looking through his belongings to see if maybe he was packing up, getting ready to leave, or if it looked like he had made, if there's a note, like does it, small things like that.
Okay, good. So yeah, let's have you, whoever wants to be the main searcher, you can roll, and then the person assisting can also roll to help.
I'll assist. Yeah, because I think the Amira would probably take a backseat on this since the chaplain said that he's kind of done this type of thing before. So I'll just help in any way I can.
Okay.
So.
Yep.
Which one would that be?
So yeah, you go first. It's going to be notice, and I think that you're doing this like this isn't wisdom. This is like investigating. So yeah, notice with intelligence. It's okay, Max.
So
when they don't find anything, Detective Greaves can come in here and sniff around the place.
Look,
and then I also can find nothing potentially.
All right, chaplain.
Okay, so no bonus, just notice with intelligence.
Okay, you got an 8. I mean, yeah, like it looks like the dude shot himself. This wasn't really like his room to begin with, in the sense that it's like a small room that they would give to a visiting noble who's visiting temporarily. The plebs are all being stored down in cargo, but this guy has his own little room. So it has a bed, it has a couple of pieces of furniture, but like by furniture, like this is a metal crate that you open from the top that stores stuff, and he's got a desk over here. It doesn't look like he used the desk. There's a viewport or fake viewport on the back that shows like a camera shot of Hyra from outside. And then in the the bathroom, yeah, there's like a little shower stall, and there's like a toilet and a mirror and a sink. And I don't think you find any. There's no like suicide note. He didn't write like, "I'm a bad dude, rip me" on the mirror and lipstick. Like, yeah, there's no note with a black hand on it or anything.
No. Okay. And is there anything unusual or out of place in the room besides the gun and the dead body?
I was gonna say besides the gun and the dead body, no. But the gun is a Crux issue like pistol. Like,
does it have like serial numbers or anything?
It probably would have some kind of method of tracking it. Yep.
Can I like note that down? Like if that's a serial number or code or anything like that, is it visible?
I don't think you're familiar enough.
Like a thing. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you're familiar enough with how that works, but yes.
Okay.
It'll have some kind of tracking information.
We know someone who is.
I'll back out the room now at this point, and then I'll turn to the mirror. I cannot see anything out of the ordinary besides the gun and the body. It is a Crux.
Can I call them?
Yeah.
I want to call while they're. Yeah, because they opened the door and then they hung up. So.
Yeah, and they didn't call you back. Yeah,
I was literally about to say we should probably inform Greaves and Nomi that there is a body here. Then you get the boop boop boop.
Yeah, it starts to beep.
And I'm just like, oh, right. Yes, Sirius, I was just about to call you. He's dead.
The man you were searching for?
Yes. And we opened the door.
Did he die?
So are you having this conversation on like speaker mode? Like, can Greaves hear it? Or do you have your comm like up to your ear?
Greaves isn't there.
He was with you the last time you saw him. Yeah.
He's with me?
If you're with the prisoner,
following you.
Yes, I was with that whole group. Unless you dismissed him. Okay. That's what I said. Booker was staying with that group until you dismissed him.
Okay, cool. I mean, I don't have it on like speaker mode, but he's
okay. So Booker, you can hear Nomi's half of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So Adam, while Emira and Nomi are talking, because I wasn't on the call, is there like is there like a text messaging or like a way that I can sort of just message Greaves?
Well, you wouldn't know that Greaves isn't on the call.
Oh, okay, that's true. Actually, yeah, I might still message
I called Emira to ask what the deal was, and then she's just telling me what's going on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, at this point, the chaplain nor I could figure out what exactly happened. It could be a suicide. It could be something more sinister. I think yourself and Greaves should come up and take a look at it yourself. It appears to be a Crux pistol. I'm sure that either one of you could maybe track it to some source.
Yes, this is unusual. It does seem as though you are in need of an investigator. And I kind of turn to look at Booker when I say that.
Booker meets that and stare like like
yeah,
like he knows something's up,
Yeah.
Booker senses tingling.
So after I kind of give him a look, then I say, make sure that no one goes into that room. We'll be there right away. And I hang up.
Affirmative.
And I look at Booker and I say, it appears we have a crime scene on our hands. A dead man. The Emira and the chaplain need our assistance. These prisoners can wait.
Sounds good.
So we'll just go there immediately, I guess.
The two of you are going to go?
Yeah, I'm going to go with them.
Okay. All right. So
Don't smile. Don't smile.
You can't have Booker doing things on his own, can we?
You leave the prisoners to
and they immediately escape. Great.
You leave them to the
security team.
I mean, yes,
right,
that's
Adam?
true.
Right, Adam?
Before you just say hey, we left, because Booker's whole intention was to make sure that Karsten's got into the cell.
She has not yet. Right? You are walking to there.
Okay, no. Then before that happens, before we leave, Booker would not say that. No, I'm serious because that's fair because I said
That's
my whole
true.
reason.
You
for
did
being there.
say. You did say that you wanted
So
to.
as you say that to me, it's gonna be like, with respect, Nomi, if you don't mind, I'd like to make sure Karsten's gets in there. She's a slippery one, even on a worse day.
I kind of look at my comm to consider the options, and I say, I suppose a dead body isn't going anywhere.
My thinking exactly.
Yeah. Trying to decide if Nomi stays with the group or if she goes to see what's going on. I kind of like the detective here is Booker, and so what's important is for him to go there. So Nomi doesn't necessarily have to go like without him because like I won't be able to help that much anyways. So I'll just I guess I stay with Booker basically.
Yeah, to oversee he's gonna oversee it.
Okay, so you're gonna both stay with the terrorists, stay with Karsten and her goons until they get into a cell, and then Booker, but also probably no. Yeah, just okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the two of you and the group of terrorists and the security troops the security officers that are with you, that group arrives at the entrance to the brig, and when the door opens, inside you see there's another group of officers waiting to take the prisoner transfer, and you see Lieutenant Ibanez, and you see a civilian. She is well dressed with a like platinum blonde like bob haircut. She's wearing a business suit, a civilian, like a gray like steel colored civilian like business suit, and over one shoulder is a camera drone, and she has in her hand a tablet, and it looks like she's in the middle of a conversation with Ibanez, and he's in the middle of saying, nothing pleases me more than being able to put scum like this away. There we are. And the door opens, and he walks over to you, Nomi, and he basically like just like he like moves you so that you're facing the drone, and he says, not to her but to the drone floating over her shoulder, he says, and it's all thanks to the Cirrus here, Nomi Ka, single-handedly, I understand, orchestrating the operation to capture Karsten. And we can see in the background, we get this shot from the camera's perspective. So it has like the Prism News at the bottom, and it has the display, and and it's focused on you, and you see Karsten in the background. And it like focuses on her for a second, and he says, Cirrus Ka and I have been working very closely together for the last few months. And this Karsten capture, well, it just goes to show that diligence is what keeps the Empire together. And he smiles at you, Nomi, and kind of gives you an opening if you have anything you want to say.
Yeah. I smile back at him, which from Nomi's is kind of a hollow smile. Like I'm smiling because there's a camera pointed at me. And I say, no squad leader can accomplish such a great feat without great command. And I kind of point to him, and a good squad at her hands. And I kind of like point to Booker. It's my honor to put Alexandra Karsten behind bars.
Okay. Yancey makes a concerted effort to like get the reporter's attention before she pays any attention to Booker. So he says, I think this just goes to show the unity of the Empire. You know, it's important that the major and minor houses work together. And as everybody knows, House Crux loves the serpents that can get things done. Let me tell you a little bit about the Cirrus. And he kind of like takes you away to like do an interview with this this Prism person. So you're kind of taken off to do that. The terrorists are shuffled off to their individual cells. And Booker, you are kind of in the background of all this because they take the prisoners from you, and then Nomi and Yancey go to have the interview with this.
While they're pulling me away, can I telepathically communicate to Booker?
Maybe is that a thing you can do?
Well, I can.
Booker goes, huh? No.
Transmit
voices.
Get out
of Booker. Let's see.
Get out of my head, Charles.
Yeah. Oh yeah, here we go. Transmit thought, send thoughts and images over telepathic contact, allowing two-way communication. Okay. Yeah. So you get Yoda'd, Booker. You hear Nomi's voice slither into your mind. What do you communicate, Nomi?
I basically want to make sure that the prisoners are thoroughly searched before we just put them in cells and then leave, because I don't know how much of that we did before. Like, I think we just disarmed them and we didn't really search them. I don't know if that happened. So I want to make sure that happens, and then tell him not to wait for me if he wants to go to the crime scene with the Amira, because I don't know how long this is going to take. So he doesn't have to wait for me.
Yeah, that's fine. So you hear that in your brain, Booker. Nomi, have you ever psychically contacted Booker before?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. So that's you, Booker. You get a feeling like someone walking on your grave, and you hear Nomi's voice in your head telling you what to do.
Yeah, I think there's a moment where Booker's like he just kind of raises his eyebrow and then just like lowers it and looks at Nomi and just like, is it a one-way communication?
Yes.
No.
It's nope, two-way. It's two-way.
No, yeah,
Really?
it's
you can talk back. Yep.
Okay.
You think back at me.
Yeah. Think back and be like, affirmative. It's just weird. That's what you hear.
Choke on my coffee. Wasn't expecting that. Okay. Cool. I don't say anything else. I just wanted to make sure that he thought to do that, and then I'll go do my interview.
Okay. All right. So do you make any effort to spin the interview at all, or do you just let Ibanez make you look good?
Master.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, if he's saying good things about me, then I'm not gonna stop him from doing that. So
yeah, and he's very good at this. So everything that he says, makes you look really good, but also to a degree takes credit for why you're so good, right? And both in a personal way and in a well, House Crux, we're a big deal, and the House is Minor, they need us to help them work. We work together with them. But he's not doing it in a mean way. It's just like, this is how I'm going to help both of us look good.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay, all right. So you spent a little while doing this interview. Booker, you are left with the prisoners, and it looks like they're starting to get processed.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Booker then walks up. I mean, he's standard procedure to search, but Booker comes up and just to each prisoner or whatever. If they're all in one spot, I'm assuming are they being all processed together?
Here's what's happening. They're in this they've been moved into a processing room. They are currently lined up against a wall. The inside of this room is like a stark brushed metal box. Everything in it is this gray steel color. There are clearly indicated sub layer LEDs on the floor that are glowing in this dark kind of ominous purple that are telling you where to stand and where not to stand. And if a prisoner moves slightly past that line, an alarm will go off. And the first prisoner has been reshackled from in front of them to behind them. And there is a Crux officer who is currently cutting this person's clothes off with shears. And someone else has a kit that they've opened up. And in it, you can see there is a some kind of injector, and there's some other miscellaneous equipment in this thing. You've seen prisoner processing before, right? Yeah. So they're gonna get stripped. They're gonna get scanned. They're gonna get they're gonna get walk through a scanner. They're gonna be branded essentially. They're gonna get a tattoo, a prison indicator. It's a scannable barcode. They'll get injected with a tracking chip. They'll be given their new Crux prison outfit, and then they'll be put into separate cells. So that's what's happening to this person.
Okay.
And nobody is saying anything to them. They're being just pushed around like cattle, basically, which they are. So yeah, if you walk over, the officer with the kit. Now these officers are they're not wearing like body armor. They're wearing like uniforms, internal sec uniforms. And as you walk over, the sec officer looks at you and he grins and he says, "Oh, did you want to do the honors?" And like looks down at the kit.
Booker thinks about it. No, he doesn't do it. He just responds back as, "Make sure to be extra thorough with this lot. They're slippery, especially that one." It looks at Carson's.
And he looks at her, and you see like a vein kind of bulge a little bit in his temple, and he nods and unclenches his teeth, and he says, "Oh, we'll take good care of Karsten. There isn't a man on this ship who doesn't know somebody who was at Pilgrim's Landing." And, like, scowls.
Listen, no. Don't let your emotions cloud your thought process. Stay focused. She preys on that.
And he nods, and you can see him kind of like get his discipline back. And he's like, "Yes, sir. Of course."
And then Booker just lets him go to it and he's observing.
Okay. All right. Did you know anybody at the terrible tragedy of Pilgrim's Landing? It's a really, really bad terrorist attack that Karsten took credit for. There was a bombing. There was a shuttle that exploded at Pilgrim's Landing, killed a bunch of like church people, basically. It was in the middle of like a big imperial holiday. And they flew a explosive shuttle into it. And then Karsten made a big like empire-wide announcement that like they did it. And this is what you get, Empire, for treating people the way you do.
Yeah.
But do you have any personal connection to it?
I think Booker had a friend growing up that was there that passed away.
Okay.
Because of it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So yeah, this is the person who like gladly took credit for it. And yeah, everybody in here is kind of like looking at her like hoping that she gets hers. And if you didn't believe in the like discipline of the crew, you might think she could be in danger. We'll see. But for now, you're reassuring to this guy like, hey, just relax. Is probably enough to keep him going. So yeah, you have it on pretty good certainty that they're going to do a good job like scanning and making sure that everything's fine.
Good.
Okay. All right. So I guess meanwhile, Chaplain Valencio and the Amira, are the two of you doing anything? Like I think like there's blood in the hallway, so like Crux officers will like secure the area.
Okay.
But do you have anything particular you want to do?
I'm just leaning against the door.
A Jason lean, I like it. I'll turn to the Amira, just kind of hold my side a little bit and just say, Amira, now that there are Crux guards here to watch over this scene, would you mind if I head back to my quarters for a little rest? These injuries are still playing with me. I feel I must take a moment for myself.
Of course. Thank you so much for accompanying me here and for looking over the site. I'll wait here for Booker.
Thank you, Amira. Once again, I know that this has probably been very difficult for you with this ship and the questioning. If there's anything that you need to talk to me about, please, my door is always open. And I'll just kind of nod my head and I'll turn around and say, I hope that the Prophet gives you some guidance if you require it. And I'll just kind of nod my head in respect, and then I'll head back to my quarters to pick up some things before I go somewhere else.
Okay.
I thought you were getting some rest, Chaplain. Just kidding.
Well, let's follow the chaplain then. Where do you go?
So I go back to my quarters, which is like a humble, really kind of simple plane. Haven't really decorated it, just like a little shrine for the high church. But underneath my bunk, I pull out a big duffel bag.
Damn.
And inside there's the sleek black tack armor, a shotgun which has actually got the church high symbol engraved into like the handle.
So good.
But I also there's a small vial tell me if because I bought this, Adam, and tell me if like I wouldn't have been able to get this. But I bought a dose of squeal, which is like the true thing. And then I take one of my Bibles from a bookshelf, which has actually got like a hollowed out bit in the middle. I put the squeal in that, put that into an inside pocket, and then also pull out another laser pistol, my high church one, and then secure that in my holster. And then I'm gonna make my way to the cells.
Nice. The chaplain is geared the fuck up.
Go kill some demons. Holy water bullets.
So your time to deliver some last rites.
Chaplain needs some fucking answers from this terrorist fuckbag.
Awesome. All right. So we see you head down the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay. All right. Well, I think that like Booker, you probably have the first opportunity to do something here because we can jump back to you. Where do you go now that you know they're going to be secure? Do you want to go meet up with Kieran and take a look around?
Well, Booker's waiting until they're in cells. Like,
yeah, they are.
They're in their cell. They're good to go.
Okay. Yeah. Well, in that case, then probably what happens is that Nomi, if you wait until they get processed completely,
that's what he's doing.
Yeah. So, Nomi, you come out of your interview, and the interview is over. The drone is just in standby. It's got a little yellow glow on it. And as you're coming out, the woman is saying, thank you so much for calling me, Kriegsherr. I always appreciate when these bits of news come up that you keep me in mind. And it's clear that the two of them like know each other. And he smiles and he nods and he says, I wouldn't talk to anybody else at Prism. You know that. And she kind of laughs and she turns to you and she says, it's been an absolute pleasure meeting you, Cirrus. Thank you so much. And like puts her hand out.
Did I get her name? Did she tell me her name?
Yeah, let's give her one. Her first name is Valerie.
She's fucking dead. She's gonna die now.
Let's see. Her first, she explodes as soon as you touch her. She has random explosion disease. It's really horrible. Her name is Valerie. Let's call her Valerie Radcliffe.
Fancy pants sounding name.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Cool. She's a Prism something or other. Yeah. So okay. Miss Radcliffe. Yeah, she puts her hand out.
I shake her hand and I say, the pleasure was all mine.
And she smiles and she says, well, if you need someone in the media, and she hands you a business card. That's not just a business card, like it's a piece of like semi-transparent computer technology that contains all of her information and contact stuff and data there. And she hands it to you, and it has this sort of pearlescent like rainbow shimmer that plays over its surface. And she hands it to you and smiles, and she says, it's always good to have someone in the civilian sector looking out for you. If you discover any exciting mysteries out there, you be sure to give me a call.
I give her kind of a slight smile and I say, perhaps I will. And I put that like in my pocket.
And she turns back to the Kriegsherr and she says, a pleasure, as always, Yancey. I'll give my best to your family. And he nods to her. And with the sound of expensive high heels on deck plating, she walks away. And so Yancey turns back to you and he says, I meant every word of what I said to that woman. You did a fantastic job. You're making all of us look good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I hope that I can continue to serve as well as we did today.
After everything that happened on Honglu, it's good that we have a win, especially with Graves being involved. How was he?
I have to say he was instrumental in the success of the mission.
Good. It's always important to have sharp instruments. And the Amira?
I agree. The Amira was also very, very helpful, especially during the siege at the end of the mission, where we actually apprehended Karsten, and Anahan was perfect.
Anahan's a Spitfire. I like her. She's one of the good ones. I'm sorry about the Amira. I was anticipating that you were going to have to be saddled with her, but I'm glad that she could pull her weight.
Yes, I'm happy to have her on my crew.
Her presence here is a bit of a favor to her family. You know how these things go. Keep an eye on her. Don't let her get hurt.
I like kind of nod.
Rocket flashback of
metal black. He isn't on the sorry.
He says, you know, I think she's only here because she's trying to avoid a marriage. These Valens. Oh, you know how it goes. Anyway, good work. Are you going to want to be involved in the interrogation?
Yes, if possible. Unfortunately, it seems that we have a bit of a crime scene on our hands, and I need to head there now.
Right, of course. Well, let's let these prisoners stew a while. Get to them whenever you're ready. We're not leaving orbit. I've got some comms from Berkman to deal with. Let me know if you need anything, and keep an eye on them. And he gives you another salute. And
cool. I salute back and
heads off.
Walk away.
Yeah, cool. Okay, yeah. So he heads off. So I think as you're finishing that conversation, I think you see Booker in the processing room, and he's just overseeing the last of the people being put in the into the cells. So Booker, it's you and like two of the people who had processed these prisoners. There's a big pile of like black clothes like on one side of the room. And the last person is just being put into a cell. You can see it through the cam. And then the officer turns to you and they say, really, Officer Greaves, we could have handled it, but that's the last one. Safe and sound.
I don't doubt your capabilities. Sometimes things need to be manually overseen. Like you said, everyone had someone there.
Human touch. You know, I thought she'd be taller. Or like have fangs or something. She's just some old woman.
Looks very often are deceiving. Learn not to rely on them.
But what makes a person like that? I mean, she killed so many people.
It's not always clear, but, well, it's hard to get inside of the mind of somebody like that. It's been my job to do that for a very long time. Each one of them's different.
Yeah, and you can see he's just like staring at the view screen in her cell, and Carson has just come in and she sat down and she has her hands clasped in front of her and she's just kind of staring at the wall. Yeah. So
confirming nothing's good, he's like scanning everything as he's like saying this.
Yeah, when you look around, I mean, you see Nomi and Yancey like finishing their conversation in the other room.
Okay, nothing looks amiss. You know what? I'm just gonna roll a notice just in case. Not that there's just in case.
Yeah, like I think if you want to really like take a good look and see if there's.
I do. I want to put it to a mechanics. That way, at least I tried.
No, totally. That's reasonable to call for it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're still uneasy, but that's because there's like a viper in your house. You got it locked in a box, but it's still poisonous. Venomous? Venomous. Yeah. So, yeah. You have good reason to feel uncomfortable and nervous. This woman is a mass murderer, a terrorist. She's the orchestrator of a cell of other mass murdering terrorists. So, yeah, it's a big deal that she's here, and you should be nervous. But she's locked away in that box real safe.
Okay. Yeah, then Booker gives him a nod, like, I'll leave it in your hands. Then he leaves.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you walk out and you see Nomi there.
He's all locked away. Made sure they were thorough.
Excellent. Shall we?
Gives you a nod.
Cool. Let's head straight there.
Okay. All right. So you want to go in and talk to them, or you want to leave?
No, I want to go to the crime scene.
Okay. All right. So the door, you go to the door and you open it, and when you step out, unless Chaplain, are you trying to avoid being intercepted along the way, or like, because if you want to get, I figured you might want to get in there without anyone noticing you. Yeah. Okay.
Well, no, I don't want Nomi and Booker necessarily to notice me.
Yes, exactly. That's what I thought.
Anybody, or Ibanez, or the reporter, or anybody like that.
Yep.
Like, I want to go in there when there's.
I think we can just assume that that's possible. So the camera follows Booker and Nomi out, and as soon as they when they get around the corner, the camera turns to watch the chaplain's approach. So why don't you take us to our break here, Mark? Describe the shot leading up to you getting into the room.
Yeah. So just very calm. I just take the little black, holy book out of my pockets, hold it in front of me, and just very calmly walk into the prison cells. And I'd probably just say, is there Crux guards in the holding cells, or a security officer?
The guards have orders to let you do whatever you need to do.
I'll probably turn to them and just say, "Good evening, officers. I am here to try and take these terrorists' confessions, if they are willing to open themselves to God, though I suspect that they will not have anything to say. It should not take me very long, and I doubt that they are going anywhere. You are welcome to stay, but if you wish to take a quiet moment, grab anything you need, I should be fine."
And they nod. And I'm wondering in this section, is there... Do you exchange a look with one of the officers that means turn off the cameras for this, or okay? So
I probably would, or I'd probably put my hand on it and just be
perhaps, you have connections, right? And their word has been spread that this might happen. So I think that all you have to do is two of them go to go outside, and the guy at the console, all you have to do is you give him a look, and he nods slowly, and we see his hand reach over, and he just turns the button off, and we see the camera flicker and go out as you walk through the door into the cells.
Okay,
cool. And then we'll pick up.
Cell.
Yeah, we'll pick up how that goes when we get back. So don't go anywhere. We're gonna get some aggressive interrogation from a priest real soon, with more roleplay Far Verona right after this.